Who? Terry Loggins.
Roberts.
Okay. Chrissy, can I Terry Loggins.
Screw you, Turtle Boy.
In the stand, I did have an exhibit I would like to introduce and play for the jury.
Okay.
And this is clip 2.
No objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
And you're marking this as an exhibit?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Right hand.
Do you have something for the court reporter to mark?
We can put it on a zip drive. We can discuss collecting all the clips and putting them on the same zip drive, or we can use different zip drives, whatever the court's preference is.
So we need something. So we need
This is
something
the,
physical. You can play it and then we'll mark it.
This is the.
Ms. Gilman, do you have a separate clip?
Jim, is that right?
Thank you. I can have this marked, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Something. The mini-series you just did. That's it. From this.
All right, Ms. Roberts, please. Okay, thank you.
We'd like to play this first and then call Ms.
Oh, okay,
Roberts.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Did they come back to you or something? I mean, how much do you remember?
It's terrible.
I questioned, but I remember it because it's been relived so much. I mean, when I see the video of me driving from the waterfall, like what I just described, tapping the brakes when I crossed the intersection, Washington over Sherman Street, do I actually remember that I kind of slowly proceeded through that green light? No, I don't actually remember that. But I've seen the video so many times that you then question, did I remember on my own? Or was my memory jogged? But I also wondered, did I say, could I have hit him? Or was it told to me that I said I hit him? And I knew I never could have said that. So the closest I must have said was, did I hit him? I know I said I hit him, but did I really say it as many times as law enforcement's claiming I said it?
Thank you. I'd now call Kerry Roberts.
Standing and face the clerk. Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the evidence given to the court and jury of the case down here to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Thank you.
K-E-R-R-Y.
All right, Mr. Brennan, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Roberts.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Could you please
Good afternoon.
introduce yourself to this jury?
Hi, my name is Carrie Roberts.
Ms. Roberts, where do you live?
I live in Canton, Massachusetts.
How long have you lived in the area for?
I was raised in the Boston area, North Shore, South Shore. I went to high school in Braintree and I moved to Canton about 12 years ago.
Do you live alone?
No, I live with my husband and 2 children.
How old are your children presently, this day?
My son is 13, my daughter's 15.
Do you work?
Yes, I do.
Without identifying specifically where, can you share with us a little bit about what you do?
I'm an executive assistant, and I've been with my company for 18 years.
Ma'am, if you could just move the microphone just a tiny bit closer. Thank you very much. You have 2 children, you're
Yes.
married,
Yes,
and you live in the area.
yes.
I want you to tell us whether you know a person by the name of John O'Keefe.
Yes, I do.
Would you be willing to share with us when you first met Mr. O'Keefe?
Well, I went to high school with John in Braintree. He played soccer, I played soccer, so we probably hung out in middle school, but we went to 2 different middle schools. And then I hung out with him more in high school. He was a year older than me. His sister was 2 years older than him in school, and his brother was younger, so at some point I was in high school with each of his siblings.
Did you at some point become friendly with John O'Keefe?
Yes.
Could you tell us about?
I wanted to jump his bone.
That was the problem with Karen's all these interviews she did. She literally said in that interview they just pulled, I know I said I hit him. So all those questions her defense team just put to that firefighter
It's
wiped
just
out.
no self-snitching. Oh,
This is the problem. Why decent lawyers will always tell you when you engage them, shut
I don't
the
think-
hell up.
I think that she's been told that, and she's done it anyway. That's the type of person.
Decent lawyer. See, this is where the bit about being a decent lawyer comes in, because a decent lawyer would have walked off going, nah, I quit. If you ain't going to listen to me on this basic principle, I'm done. I'm out.
They did the opposite and said, well, I'll sit with you just to make sure that you don't really fuck up.
Yeah. And then she really fucked up anyway.
Yeah,
It's
she's what it is. You can't
yes,
stop her from
destroying
doing
her
it.
own defense.
She's paying for it, so they just get paid a little bit longer.
Yeah, but
I-
that's why they're bad lawyers, is because they put up with it, and a decent lawyer won't. A decent lawyer, it's you're told either you follow my advice or I'm out the door. You
But
can go
you
find
give up.
somebody else.
Such a big case.
Yeah, because the alternative is you get so damaged by it. It destroys your own reputation.
About that?
When his sister Kristen passed away, and then her husband Steve passed away, John, they lived in my neighborhood. John took over for the children and moved into my neighborhood as well.
When John took in the children, did you offer any assistance or any help to him?
Yes, when John, well, before
she was
John was
so
even going to take
wicked.
over, he was going to potentially move in with his brother-in-law and the children to help out. And then when his brother-in-law passed away unexpectedly, John took over, and I jumped in because I was a friend from high school that he knew, and he had all kinds of people helping, but he sort of said, I'm going to lean on you for right now because I know you best. And I knew his parents and his siblings, and so I introduced him to my husband, and we jumped in. It was, preschool drop-offs, preschool pickups for my son and his son, and just from then until the time of his death, we were just friends, very close friends, and we hung out all the time. The children hung out all the time, and he was the emergency contact list at my children's school to call if something had happened.
Were you close friends before he took over the care of the children?
No, I wasn't very close friends with him then.
Were you close with his family before he took over the care of the children?
No.
Did your friendship with him develop after he took care of the children?
Yes.
You mentioned you have a son,
Yes, I do.
and is your son the same age as John's nephew?
Yes.
Was there any common interests or activities that engaged your son with John's nephew?
Well, they went to in-home daycare together. They went to preschool together. They went to pre-K together. Then they went to elementary school. They played baseball together since they were T-ball. My son plays hockey. Patrick tried hockey. He didn't like that. So we spent a lot of time at the baseball fields together.
As you spent a lot of time together and had mutual care of children, did your relationship with him grow closer?
Yes.
And can you share a little bit with the jury how close you became?
Well,
I used to
John
babysit my kids.
bachelor, and he didn't have any children of his own. So when he took over for the children, he sort of, leaned on us to kind of guide him and, all the things to do if there's someone has a headache and, if there's an ear infection or, he had his mom and dad also helping as well, but I was right up the street. So if I would go to BJ's, I would call and say, can I grab you anything?
See?
If I would go to Walmart, any of the places I would go, I would call and say, do you need anything? Can I help you? Can I grab something for you? And he did the same. We just sort of all chipped in and helped.
As your friendship grew, Could you tell us a little bit about your relationship with John?
John and I were very close. We spoke on the phone and hung out. He became very close with my husband as well because he was right down the street. But we just had a friendship, a very close friendship.